If you're here to learn more about God of War Ragnarok, you're in the right place. Welcome God of War fans, my name is Shane Static, and today we're taking a closer look at the Light Elves in God of War Ragnarok. And hit the like button if you're just as excited about God of War Ragnarok as I am. Alright, here we go. So we have all seen the God of War Ragnarok trailer, and we all know that Light Elves are going to be some new enemies in God of War Ragnarok. If you take a close look right here, you can see Kratos being attacked by a Light Elf warrior. And if you take a closer look right here, you can actually see Dark Elves flying past us as if they are on our side. So will the Dark Elves be allies in God of War Ragnarok? Maybe a theory for another day, but this video is about the Light Elves. So, who are the Light Elves? So the Light Elves in Norse mythology are actually mentioned in the Prose Edda, written in the 13th century by Snorri Sturluson. So in chapter 17, we actually find someone asking about the Norse afterlife, and the response was that there are many different places in the Norse afterlife. One of them specifically is called Alfheim, or the home of the elves. They are said to be fairer than the sun to look at, so we can pretty much assume they are pretty easy on the eyes. And in the Norse religion, the elves that actually take up the space in Alfheim are actually known as the people's ancestors. So to put it very simply, the Light Elves in Norse mythology are actually kind of like the angels of the Norse world. This is actually the majority of the information that I found out while researching this video. Well, besides Freyr being the ruler of Alfheim, but we might get into that a little bit later. So now let's transition to God of War. So in God of War, we actually know a little bit about the Light Elves. So they are in an eternal war for the light of Alfheim with their counterparts, the Dark Elves. But we all kind of know this if we played God of War 2018. So by the time Kratos and Atreus actually arrive in Alfheim in God of War 2018, we see many Dark Elves killing off the Light Elves. And actually many of them barricaded themselves in a temple dedicated to Freyr, who for some reason has disappeared. So when Kratos and Atreus actually released the Light of Alfheim, released the Light Elves so they could find their Lord Freyr, and killed the Dark Elf King who told us we made a grave mistake, this made me curious. Did we do the right thing? So I actually called that the Light Elves were working with the gods in this video right here. But a very cool thing that I kind of stumbled upon is that Mimir actually tells us of a Light Elf queen during the tale of Starkadr, the Jotun with the 8 arms. Check it out right here.
Okay. What about the giant with 8 arms?
Starkadr the Mighty, he was called. If the giants ever had anything so organized as an army, Starkadr would have been their general. An opinion, in retrospect, I should have kept to myself. But no, as Odin's advisor, I kept him advised. And having bent his will towards Starkadr's doom, there was no dissuading him. But even Thor wasn't stupid enough to take on Starkadr on his own. No. Instead, the Aesir set forth slanders upon Starkadr's name, branding him throughout the realms as a monster to be feared. They said he abducted an elf queen who killed herself rather than be ravished by the giant. Lies, of course, but you're too young for her story.
So there very well might be a Light Elf queen, but it still remains to be confirmed. Because going back to Mimir's story, the gods, particularly Odin, spread so many lies about Starkadr that we really can't know for sure if the Light Elf Queen is true or not. We'll just have to wait and see. So there's not a whole lot more to know about the Light Elves, which makes me super excited, so this leaves it completely open for interpretation and anything could happen. So going back to the God of War Ragnarok trailer, like I said before, there is a Light Elf enemy attacking Kratos. Not too much else can actually be made out of this image besides it has a huge sword, a golden mask, and some markings on its bodies, which means we are going back to Alfheim for sure in God of War Ragnarok. And might fight some Light Elves with some Dark Elves. But why? Maybe to find Freyr? Maybe to find his sword? We'll just have to wait and see. So, what do you think about the Light Elves? And what do you think is going to happen in God of War Ragnarok? Tell me in the comments down below, and let's discuss it. My name is Shane Static, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.